Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's another Mythic Monday, and boy, it's been a minute since we've done a Mythic Monday because I'm pretty much caught up, with the exception of All-Star 6 which hasn't shipped yet to retailers. But soon, in a couple of weeks, we're going to start those up. But for right now, we're going to be taking a look at the last figure that I needed from the Necronominus wave, and that's Sir Gideon Heavensbrand's horse, Bishop. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Articulated Empire is your newest online retailer for shopping for your favorite figures and toy lines like Mythic Legions, Savage Crucible, and Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, to name a few. They ship your orders quickly and securely. Visit articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. Alrighty, boy, we've got a big box here today to deal with. But with these big boxes with the horses, you pretty much get to see everything that's included. Looks like we have a little bit of a skeletal horse head here forming. Maybe Maxilius, the harvester, is just getting close to doing in Bishop here. We know that Sir Gideon Heavensbrand must be too important to the story for him to come with any skeletal parts, so he doesn't die on the battlefield. Maybe Bishop's not so lucky. Looks like we've got an extra piece of horse mane up there in the corner. We have the jousting rod right here. We have the beautiful horse here. We have the faction symbol on this side, and then a little write-up of Bishop right here. If you want to pause that and give it a read, you certainly can. And then some beautiful artwork by our friend Nate Barch here on the back. And then you can see the Dark Four, and then a little write-up of Mythos right here. Little window box on the top with the 4-H logo, of course. So let's get this guy opened up and take him for a ride. All right, here is Bishop opened up and out of the package. And I got to tell you, this thing is a work of art. I do kind of wish there was a little, just a little sheet of instructions just kind of telling you exactly how to remove things, because right out of the package, you basically have to remove pretty much almost everything from the horse completely, because the body is fully wrapped in plastic, which is great for transit because we don't know the temperature conditions, like in the warehouse, in China, on the boat, over here in the ports, while holding, back on trucks, then back to the warehouse. So, depending on if it's hot or cold, like you could get paint rub, you could get any number of things could happen to the paint finish of the horse. So they want to protect that, because you can dress this guy all the way down and just have a plain white horse, a Shadowfax, if you will, for your for Gandalf. But I do kind of wish there was a little bit of explanation of just like how to get the bridle off, or where exactly the plug is for the it's not, I mean, it's kind of intuitive, but for those of you who don't know, because I think I broke my bridle right out of the package, not knowing how to get this off. I think I snapped the little piece that goes under. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. It's an easy fix, but just a little sheet, unless there is one in there and I missed it, but I didn't see one in there. But this is just absolutely exquisite. I mean, if you have ever had a horse from the Four Horsemen, then you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. But the armor on this guy, and I don't think I have this plugged in all the way, is just absolutely gorgeous. I think I'll probably go ahead and just take the bridle off so that you can see exactly what we're working with. I can show you where I think I snapped it. I think I snapped it like right here, and that might actually plug in. I don't know if I broke it. I haven't really inspected it, honestly, or if it just came loose. Actually, it does look like it just kind of fits back in there. Maybe I can glue that, a little spot of glue, so maybe it's not completely torn. But just looking at the The bridle itself, you have some of that blue, and you're going to see that. I mean, this is definitely designed to be Sir Gideon Heavensbrand's horse, so you're going to see some complementary colors. You know how his accent color is the blue. This is a custom cape that I got for my Sir Gideon that I've talked about before from my friend Sean on eBay. Action Figure Armory, just exquisite capes, can't be beat. They're just incredible. I would say his capes and then Darla's capes, art by Ackerman, Darla's capes are the two best capes you're going to find for your mythics, for sure. But lots of silver and gold filigree work deep down in the recesses. Just what Eric sculpted into this is just incredible. You have this little thing right here that looks like, you know, maybe on their end it's swappable if they wanted to use this in the future and then replace this piece. It doesn't look like it's swappable on our end. I'm sure you could probably take that off if you wanted, but who would want to? So you have this, you have the neck armor, which is keyed, and it goes in a certain way on the back of his neck. So you have some of that same beautiful filigree work, and the rivets, just everything. It's just painted that gold. It's such a beautiful gold color. Let's press that back on. Then you have, lifting Bishop's head up, you have his part of his bridle, part of the horse. I don't want to say steering, but you know, not part of the armor, but just part of the saddle work. You have this piece here that's loose and comes off over his head, and then you have the front armor protecting the horse's chest area. You can see all the little hinges. I mean, it's just the detail work is just, let me zoom in here so you can see that. It's just beautiful, beautiful. And then the detail work right here, exquisite. And then you have these beautiful soft goods by C. Jessam. I think I have like a little errant string right there. And then keeping it with the armor on the tail end is removable. You just want to pop the tail off, and that's pretty easily done. You just pop this off. You can see where it plugs in, and then you can remove this whole thing. You have the bedroll attached to the armor, which then plugs in to the saddle, so you can keep that all together as like one piece. I think I might have liked maybe if the bedroll was just permanently attached to the saddle, so that if you took the armor off, the bedroll stayed with it. That's just personal preference. That's just my own personal preference. No complaints there. I think I'll leave this off because I'm going to dress him down in just a second. Then you have the parts of the saddle here where you can loop in any number of weapons or shields. The stirrups. Look at that beautiful saddle work. Looks like worn, very worn leather. There's lots of washes and dry brushing going on there. It just looks so exquisite. Like, this is so beautifully done. You've got all of the layering with the soft goods. So you've got sculpted blue and gold soft goods here, or sculpted soft goods. So they're plastic, but then you've got this roll here, this little sheet that I went ahead and put, like this little saddle pad, I guess is what it would be, that I went ahead and put on him. This comes separate in the package. Then you've got the lower, like the hanging down skirts and tassels, just absolutely beautiful. No armor on the legs. And then this is, you know, as you can see, this is 2 layers here, and there are wires along the edges in all of these. So if you want to pose them, you certainly could. I mean, wired soft goods for a horse, guys. Like, it's crazy. How you get this off. Looks like we have another little plug here. Like, if you wanted to lower the stirrups for a taller character, you could unplug the stirrup here and plug it in right here. Something on my finger. And then you've got the strap that goes around the belly, which also looks like it's got some soft goods, but that's just all sculpted. So you can disconnect the saddle here at this little piece. You can also disconnect it here. It also disconnects over there on that side as well. So let's remove the saddle and the back armor. And there is that secondary soft goods piece, the bedroll, or the saddle pad, which you can remove. You can remove the armor here. To get this piece off, what you'll want to do is just remove his head. pull that off and then remove this. That's also how you get this armor off, and then you would want to just lift this whole thing and remove it as well, and then you are left with just your standard horse, which we're going to take a look at. Now, if you want to dress this guy back, you could just put this on. You could just take the saddle, strap that back, and then you're good to go. If you wanted, you know, just a plain horse, or you could have them riding completely bareback. So let's go ahead and pop his head back on. Now, when you have the horse completely dressed down like this, you do get extra pieces. So you get this extra, so you get a little piece of mane here, his mane, so we can plug that in. If I am lining everything up, there we go, properly, you can plug that in, and then you get this little piece of hair, and you can see that it's got a little ridge right here. And what you want to do is tuck that in underneath the head like that, and now he has a little piece of hair that hangs down over his head, which is really nice. I don't think I have that plugged in all the way. As far as articulation goes, for those of you who have probably, you know, if you have never had the pleasure of adding one of the horses to your collection, I still don't know if that head's in all the way. Just looking at the body here. Now, I don't know how much of the horse is resculpted, if any. I don't know if this is complete reuse or if this is a new sculpt. I don't know. I don't have any of my horses out to compare, but you can see that this isn't just shadow. This is airbrushing. So you've got not just a white, but some dirty yellow tan brushed on, some gray, some off-white, some white, a lot of spray work done around the neck. So just the sculpt is exquisite. The paint is exquisite. Look how the gentle, like it's very subtle, but you can see like muscle over ribs right here. It's just, there is some vein work both right here on the chest and stomach, and then also down on the legs. Subtle spray around the hooves. It's just, I mean, and then the head is just absolutely beautiful. I think that's probably why it's not plugged in all the way, is because this peg isn't fully exposed. But yeah, you can just see how beautifully painted and sculpted. See the vein work. Oh man, it's just gorgeous. And then here is the other head that we have, and I do believe the bridles are swappable. So if you wanted, you could, is this disc, this is why I said I needed some instructions, because see, I don't know like where this comes apart exactly to facilitate, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe you just gently, you know, pull it off over the ears, give a little clearance. There we go. And then, so here is the horse skull, and nothing is articulated, but you can see it looks like Maxilius has already got his hands on Bishop, and he's starting to, yeah, you can see the difference here, how the cheeks are sunken in, and you see the bone and more of the skeleton poking through. Just such a beautiful, but also very disgusting and creepy skull. But yeah, if you wanted to see what this looks like, it would be similar to that, of course. And then you can also put the hair on, this hair piece on, if you want. But maybe his hair is falling out and it's not, you know. But let's take this off, and then if you wanted to put this bridle on Bishop, I believe that you can. We'll get this pushed over the nose, and then get this piece over the ears. There we go. And then let's see if I can get this. There we go. Yeah, it went in perfectly fine that time. And then where's my little horsehair? And then, of course, you can tuck the hair under. You probably want to tuck it under both the bridle and the edge of his head. And then saddle pad. And then saddle. And then you'll just want to bring this around. It's probably going to be a lot easier to peg in without all that extra soft goods and everything. And there you have it. There is just a, a dressed down version of Bishop, not in full regalia, not full armor. And of course, you can pull the reins back here for Sir Gideon to be able to. Man, it's just beautiful, 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 beautiful. So let's see. Let's kind of go over some of the articulation here. The neck can bend down about that far. You do get a lot of range of motion in the head. This extra piece right here that's getting in the way and stopping me from plugging it in all the way, like I think it helps fill in some of the gappage right here whenever you rotate the head down. Neck can go all the way back. Got some mobility here and some bobble. Let's see. A little bit of rotation, but I don't think it's really intended for that. The tail can swing all the way around. It can hinge up or down. The front legs can go forward that far, bend, and then bend again. So if you wanted to have him posed in like a trotting or prancing pose, you certainly could. Back legs are on sort of like a ball joint, so they can kind of go in and out like this right here. You've got forward, bend forward, bend down. So if you wanted him, in one of those like rearing up poses, you certainly could do that. You may need some sort of stand or support right here to get him in that pose. And of course, with the head, you could certainly, sorry, this is going to be too far to be able to see, but you can certainly get him in that reared up pose if you had some sort of support right here. And, just further articulating those ankles, you could really get him in a very beautiful dynamic pose for sure. No doubt about it. So let's get him back in his full armored state and get him in here with Sir Gideon and see how he poses up. But one last thing before we do, I can't forget the jousting staff here. I don't know if it's, its proper term. Lots of beautiful gold and silver work. I love the spiral right here. And then we have the main shaft right here. And then I don't really know the term for the front of this, but in, medieval times, you could change this out. It could be a fist. It could be the head of an animal like a ram or a boar, whatever your sigil was, your house was. Here we have this little claw-like attachment that's really going to dig into the armor. And of course, this is made to go into Sir Gideon Heavensbrand's hand when he is, sitting astride Bishop here. And I'm so glad that they included this with Bishop. Because if you're getting this horse, then you probably have Sir Gideon, and you're going to need something for him to joust with or ride into battle with, which is fantastic. It's hard to imagine at the beginning of the year that I would put a horse on my top 10 figures of the year list, and I don't know if Bishop alone would make it on my top 10 figures of the year list, but you couple him with Sir Gideon Heavensbrand, and maybe you have to add another category that's like best set 2-pack of the year. It's not a 2-pack, it doesn't come with him, but maybe we could finagle some sort of award to get Horse and Rider of the Year award. He would certainly win. I'm gonna, it's my list, so I'm gonna cheat, and I'm going to put Sir Gideon Heavensbrand and Bishop on my list already. I mean, I can already tell you. I mean, come into the year, I'm not sure that, there, I can't think of, 10 other figures coming out this year that are going to unseat this. This is gorgeous. This is a showstopper. This is a showpiece. This is a work of art, and in movable articulated plastic form, and it is gorgeous. From the paintwork to the sculpting to the soft goods, there's not a detail missed. There is not a detail overlooked or a shortcut taken. This is truly the epitome of shelf presence. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And if you have this on your shelf in your Mythics collection or just on your toy room shelf displayed, anybody who is unfamiliar is going to come in and be instantly drawn to it because it's just that beautiful. I have never seen so much care and detailed taken and shown to a horse and a rider, not only by the Four Horsemen, but by anybody in general. Like, this is just, I'm kind of in awe. Unfortunately, I do have to have him holding the jousting staff like upright, or otherwise it would just keep like hitting, the back of my review space here, because it is so long, and that tail, having to like tuck it in a little bit because it keeps wanting to like hit that back wall. But this thing is just beautiful. I'm just going to gush and rant and ramble the more that I sit here and talk about it. So I'm going to call it done. But this is exquisite, and I am sorry that I've waited so long to add Bishop to my collection. This is the last figure I needed to complete the entire Necronominus wave, and here we are in August doing it. So thank you guys for sitting through this extra long review. I really appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the toy aisle.